Now, it's all right to be a couple of cents out of tune because of the sympathetic resonance. All right, now, the piano is made up of the strings, right? There's hammered strings, okay? Now, if I were to play this note, right? What do you hear? Do you hear the same sound being repeated every time? Now take a look at the tuner, okay? Now watch what happens with the tuner. You see that? It depends on the phase of the wave, the time, all right? Now, when you pluck a guitar string, if you were to pluck it very lightly, you can tune to a specific frequency, and the little green light would pop up on your tuner, right? But if you were to take that same guitar string after you tune it and you were to pluck it at a fortissimo or even a fivesimo, excuse the pun, okay, and you were to play it louder, then the initial attack of the frequency is going to be higher, and then it's going to go down, and then it's going to do that. It's going to balance out, all right, as the sound is sustained, okay, because a louder pluck will sustain longer than a softer pluck, all right. Now, the piano, even though you're hearing the same note, you're hearing it go, it'll go up, it'll jump, right? It'll be around like 5 cents sharp, and then it'll go down 5 cents, and then it'll balance out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate this Shumahn resonance tuning, right? But it's going to be based off of the 7th peak. Like in part 1 of this, I explain how there's different Shumahn resonance frequencies, right? There's different harmonics, there's different peaks of the resonance, of the heartbeat of the planet, right? Shumahn resonance isn't just one frequency, but the fundamental 7.83 has a very small amplitude in comparison to that 7th peak, 60 hertz, right? So you got 60 hertz. Now if I were to change the angle of the sound, see how the angle at this angle it's saying it's slightly flat. But if I were to change it like this, it'd bring it up in tune. You see what I'm saying? So the angle of the wave and the phase of the time will determine whether or not it sounds in tune. So if you're out of tune, if it sounds wrong, it sounds out of tune, it sounds out of phase, then that's because your sense of time is wrong. So it'll sound bad, right? So to make it a tune, you're going to have to phase up the frequencies, phase up the waves, right? Improve your sense of time, and then you'll sound more in tune because there is actually a tune there. So don't become fanatical about the frequencies, right? It doesn't matter what frequency you tune to. It's the relationships between the notes, not just the intervals, but the progression of the chords. You see what I'm saying? That makes it a tune, that makes it sound in tune. If I were to do this, Well, if you have a key center, you're using the right notes, then it's impossible to make the progression sound incorrect. Okay, but if I were to do this, using all those different chords, there's no key center, there's no gravity, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a tune for you. So I'm going to set this down so I can play a tune in this Shumahn resonance tuning, so that it resonates the tuning of the most audible seventh peak of Shumahn resonance. There's the frequency.